All right. So apologies for the delay. For the breakfast, please you would see them setting up there, and then so everybody's just supposed to walk through there, take their pack, their drinks, and then you can come back sit. You can go do your networking. Or yes, so just ensure that you have your tags with you because the tags are what's going to make you eligible to take. So just at the back there, you can see them setting up. You just pick one, take the drinks, and then you can go. Thank you. And you can don't go, please. You guys should stay behind. We're just starting. Thank you so much. Please, once you get to your breakfast, you can just hang around, talk to people, just make sure you're networking with someone, make sure you've got him. There's also going to be lunch, there's also going to be cocktail at the end. There's like whole lot of event plans for everyone. Yeah. Also, don't forget to create your cross bank accounts. Also, check behind. We have some amazing vendors. We have eyeglasses in case you have to check for some things. We have Edu Sprouts. We have Edu Tractor. Yeah. So also, there are going to be trash bags moving around. So once you're done eating, please endeavor to put your trash in the bags. You see some people taking bags around. Don't throw them on the floor because they're still going to be here for a while.
Well, I think I quickly go. Yeah, I'm not. You know, so what they see your hand. My own. They give you. Go that for life. Huh? Go that for life. Just go that for life. See that they like you know. Give me your hand. No, come. Charge van. Where's the charge van? Why is the sick now? This is when you WhatsApp now. Taking I think goodbye. Open that book. I see two pages. Ego. It's more like yam. What I am, they blend it. Put flour. This like they blend it. Put flour. Make it stiff small. They put meat inside and they roll it and go and fry it. Fine girls, we want it. So they just get big. If you never walk around, never walk around. I want to find girls also. I hope they hey, keep on. Come on. Hey, hey, for you. What's up for you? Okay, I'll go to the other one. Okay. Welcome to the first one. No, no, we get to the no, no, I don't go for Don't have your work. But you got the disguise. What place? That's work now. I just see your video. Hmm? Yeah, just the last time it was like five. Last time it was like three people, four people. Facebook like three people. Hmm? No, I'm not calling on video. Your mic there. Your mic there, right? Mr. Josh, the work wey you send me yesterday, you say how is na like one one bedroom self con. Yeah, he come send me one he say I have standard one bedroom with two toilets for rent to trade more estate. Phase one going for 800K. Come talk say caution deposit 100K, female client needed. Which one say na even woman dem still dey need and na phase one. Funny enough, as the first thing na the first thing wey first come my mind na say na why e cheap pass the others be that. And the phone, the guy say 780 or how much you call am make I check first. 12 Pro Max 780 and for 128 gig, 800K for 256 gig. Yeah, no be new one. London use, UK use. Okay, they will be use program by two or three like this.
Hi. Hi everyone. our break time has ended, our breakfast has ended. I'm aware some of us didn't get breakfast, but there's still going to be, we're still going to cater to everyone. But for now, let's all of us just go back to our seats. If you didn't get breakfast, you're still going to come around. You see people sharing some things just after you sit down. So please let's endeavor to get back to our seats. We're about to start. Please let's come back to our seats. Let's use the next 5, 7 minutes to just settle back. Our next sessions are going to be very, very interesting. We're going to have a panel discussion and we're going to have a fireside chat between two very great people. We will then also have our product
Why
showcase
why you
and
Facebook
then
born like
we will
this?
see the
What's my
tech
camera?
accelerated program speeches. So please let's come back to our seats. Let's begin to come back to our seats. Everyone that's outside, please come back to your seats. You can still take your food. If you're done with your food, please do not litter the environment. We're still here. We have some volunteers taking around baskets. See, so please just endeavor to trash your bins. Thank you very much. Please, people standing at the back, please come forward. Let's us all be seated for the next sessions. So we're just going to start in the next 3 minutes. We'll have 3 minutes to just settle down. Thank you very much.
Dayosh. Nothing. As in people.
Please let's come inside. And you have a chance to stand. You have a chance to win amazing prizes. You stand a
There is still
chance
an
to win
hundred
amazing
there.
prizes. So please tweet on Twitter, Instagram, retweet, hashtag Abuja Tech Converge, hashtag ATC 2020. Just talk about the amazing breakfast, lunch, about amazing talk you've been hearing, the amazing experience. Thank you very much. If you tweet, and like person with the most tweets gets to win something from the organizers too. The amazing prizes, there's airports, and very big prizes, there are
Na
laptops.
airport dem call am now. Hey, give me. Hey, give me
Go
Abuja airport.
Oracle Power Bank.
Omo, I go like put that power bank o. Me I no wan airport, na power bank I want. Eh? I say, that power bank. Good man. Only you wear jacket for here, media man. Who wearing jacket? As per na na invisible jacket you wear. No vex, you no learn work now. Abi you learn work? Yes na, why not? Na media work now.
Please let's go back to our seats. Everyone at the back here. I know you are
Na me wear
interested
this
in
thing
all
because
the amazing things. Please let's go back to our seats. We're about to start the next part of the program. There are amazing things. There's still going to be time for you to come and check out Hello Tractor, Edu Sprout, Alert, Crocs, Midway, OCP, Tribe Great.
eh?
Amazing products. Even DJ Sports, also eyeglasses.ng. Please let all endeavor to return to our seats. We'll have enough time to check all of them out.
Why you chop? Why you call the company? If you no chop now, you will go lose. That's so you complain for that for Nikon. No, I don't you I don't know. No, I could have another different problem. Now you be know when me or guy just chop that day. You see me
No,
finish
see,
up, you
their
finish
own are
finish
different
up.
story.
You
You understand
you
which one
shall
is the
complain. You don't
you
complain
understand
again today.
okay, this one, you know, see, you know, we after I don't confuse the appointment.
Me I don't know if it's sweet or not. To me I shall chop. Super I shall don't enter my belly. Come on, they don't dey waste too much time already. So no, they no quick start.
People no fit see.
Ah,
They no go see show.
you know worry. They get sponsors obviously. I say they get sponsors obviously because the money wey they don spend for here plus wetin dem wey dey give sef. You no fit tell me say
If they
you
come
no fit tell me say e get one thing wey dem wan do inside this event wey wan generate that money back. Obviously dem get solid sponsors. No say those people wey dem dey call.
Please let's go back to our seats.
Wey hear wey
Let's
dem
go back to
wey
our
hear
seats.
thank
Even
you
if
for
you've
your
not
gift.
gotten breakfast, they will come and attend to you. So just please go back to your seats. We are about to start. Let us not stand at the back. Everyone, please let's go back to our seats. Please let's endeavor to be all seated. The next session is about to start.
Hello, hello.
Uh, Mr. Ikena. Yeah, Ikena.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Go free. I don't feel you.
Eh? Na English you speak now.
No, someone say okay, let's wait when they do yours. Maybe they have another place. Then I will drink my own. I will pay my own transport.
Where you find the UK?
I hope I will do. Anybody around tell me say match people down. That kind of people now.
You
No
don't go down rich now. If you say you go down rich, you for see.
trash.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
Patient dog sleep at all. But don't sleep at big banana. Chow now. Where's the money? Where do you go? Where do you go to? I don't see.
Why you dey laugh?
Yeah, where do you go to? I first asked
When
this
the
like
guy
I was asked the gate that I was going up like
no,
this.
this was the man as there.
Then I don't
You get to sit down there.
hotel. See,
Sit down. Okay.
I don't know that place. But I asked one outside guy. He tell me that he's not around here. That I should keep going up.
Why? But
But I go lost. I go the
go on,
ferry.
let me see where to go. Let me see.
Chai, so it's still minutes. So what?
No, try to look at that. Take your time. Okay, go sit down. Watch it.
It's off.
Huh?
My camera is off.
Okay, over. Go, go ah. Come.
You do just over.
Aspa.
He said this is my food. Maybe he can sit here. Then the video will play. Listen, dog. Papa, switch your phone over. So we don't feel. On the fire, iPhone charger. Look my line. Bro, I'm like, you got iPhone charger. Let's be there.
Oh, my phone is just 51%. Sure. You won't charge, but make uh
Why?
there's no space. There's no
What's
space.
that?
Sadly, not working. Not working. And there's no way that will fit in.
You put it in a way somebody not match your phone. Don't worry, somebody said that.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for being patient with us. Thank you so much for everyone that's here. Thank you so much to our speakers. Please, if you are still behind, just endeavor you are seated. And also, please, if there is a seat in your front, just try to fill it because it's easier if people that are coming after you sit at the back instead of them distracting, walking to the front. So please, if you have any seat in front of you, please move to the front. The protocol are going to help direct some of us. Please let's obey them just so that it's very good and we're very organized. So protocol, please just help us. Anyone that has seats in front, please, if they tell you to move forward, just listen to them, move to the seats, empty seats in your front. Please move to the empty seats in your front. Let ensure that every seat is occupied before you move to the front.
Wait, like
All right, so
I
while
don't
we are
know
sitting
about
down,
that.
I want
I only know
to
about it.
just acknowledge the presence of some of
If
our
you have
distinguished
something like
speakers we didn't have
this,
the time
it should
today
be
earlier
good to go.
because
No, no, not the,
we
do
started
you
a
have an
bit late.
extension?
So
I was talking
just
about
put your hands together
the
as you hear
multi-purpose
some of
stuff.
their names
Because
of
here
the people that
the
are already here. So we have seated
I'm
with
using
us
my iPhone call.
Dr. Fatono Ayola, the head regional technical services, agric and micro scheme specialist, Leadway Insurance. Please put your hands together for Dr. Fatono Ayola. Please put your hands together for him. He's here to share some of his insights with us. As we have already met, we have Mr. Akintunde Akinwande, Africa Head of Digital OCP Africa. Please put your hands together for Mr. Akinwande. You already met him. Put your hands together for him. We also have Mr. Afnan Hanan, CEO Okra Solar. Mr. Afnan Hanan, please put your hands together for him. He's here to. There's also Cynthia, Miss Cynthia Chiso, Principal Partner, SDC Startup School. She's also here. Please put your hands together for her. We have amazing guests for you. There is also, please put your hands together for them. Please keep clapping for them. We also have met the CEO of Tribe Great, Mr. Uka Eje. Please put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for him. Dr. Um, we also have Dr. Suki here. He also spoke with us earlier. Please put your hands together for him. Please put your hands together for him. We also have Mr. Umar Obasi, Head Supply Chain OCP Africa, standing in for the country manager. Please put your hands together for Mr. Umar Obasi. Put your hands together for him. Put your hands together. I can't hear you guys clapping. Please put your hands together for him. We also have Chief Obina Nwaka. He also is standing up representing for the Minister of Youth and Development. Please put your hands together for Chief Obina Nwaka. Please put your hands together for him. Yes, and we please put your hands together for them. I don't know why you guys are stopping. All right, so I'm just going to be inviting Jessica to. Oh, sorry, I missed some people. There's also Mr. Steven from Cross, the people that are giving you 200,000. Please put your hands together for them. If you want 20,000, you clap the loudest. Put your hands together for them. In this our economy, they are willing to drop to 200,000. So let me invite Jessica on. Put your hands
Thank you
together for
very
her.
much, Shola. Put your hands together for Shola. Thank you very much. All right, so without further ado, we're going to have a panel session, and I'm going to read the bio of the moderator for this session, Mr. Timi Obiseson. Timi Obiseson is a banker and a social impact practitioner. He handles partnerships at Wema Bank, Nigeria's most innovative bank. He holds a BSc and a master's degree in business administration from Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife, Nigeria. He has Alright. He has international certifications in digital marketing, design thinking, and artificial intelligence. In his 15 years of business experience, he has supported over 5,000 businesses. Please, that's a good place to clap. Managed over 300 team members, and participated in 10 government projects. He is a member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN. He is a current member of the Presidential Committee on MSMEs and a job creation under the administration of the current president, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He is a key member of the FGN Skill Innovation Program of the Vice President targeted at empowering 3 million youths. Timmy is passionate about social impact activities, volunteering with 3 international NGOs, including Red Cross. So, to moderate this panel session titled Localizing Innovation, Building Tech Solutions with Nigerian Context, ladies and gentlemen, let us make welcome Mr. Timmy Obiseson. Please, with a round of applause, let's make welcome Mr. Timmy Obiseson. Thank you very much.
Not to be easy to switch.
All right, let's keep clapping as it comes out. Thank you.
Yes, it's coming. Put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for him. All right. So while we're waiting for Mr. Sidi, please, if you need water, there are people here that are distributing water. So just without being rowdy, just indicate, and then they'll give you. We're still waiting for Mr. Simi.
All right, in the meantime, while we wait for Mr. Timmy, please don't forget to continue to network. More people have come since the first session, so please meet people around you. Very soon, I'm going to be calling out those that are going to identify the 5 people they've met, speaking about what they know about these people. And like I said, there is going to be an award for you. Thank you very much. All right.
I think that is it. Yeah, background noise.
Put your hands together for Mr. Simi. Please put your hands together for Mr. Simi. He's already here. Put your hands together for him. He's
Please
also
keep
ready
clapping,
for
keep
keep clapping,
clapping.
keep
Thank
clapping.
you.
Please keep clapping for him. Mr. Simi is already here. We can't see you guys clapping.
Eh?
Please clap for him. Clap for him.
That's what I'm looking at because all my audio.
Yes,
All
clap for
right,
him.
ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Mr. Simi Obitason.
There's only one this thing audio that is going out here. And all the other one is not. So I don't know where.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I think this is 11:59, so I believe we're still just in the morning. So good to be here. So glad to be here. If you are glad to be here this morning, please put your hands up yourselves. Can I get a better applause? Please
Yeah.
celebrate yourself. All right. Thank you so much for coming here today. We're going to be starting today with a panel session, and then I have the privilege to introduce some of our panelists. All right. So once I call your name, so please try to step forward as we take the panel session.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. The topic of the panel session
Who are
will
talking here
focus on localizing
is
innovation, building tech solutions with Nigerian context. To do justice to those presentations, I will be inviting to the stage one of our panelists, Mr. Adeoluwa Michael Adeshola. He is the Group Managing Director and CEO, Aziki Norman. Please, can you show a wave of hands if they are here, please? Mr. Adeolu Michael Adeshola. Can I? Oh, please. Up and now, guys. Please encourage him, please. Do we have ushers? To the ushers.
Celebrity, the first woman of t- ah. All right. I also have a lady, a woman, um, a celebrity in our midst. I have Chisom Cynthia E. Cynthia E. Chisom. She's a principal manager at SDC Startup School. Oh, you are here already. Please. Can I get a better applause, please? Some of you are not clapping. Some of you are not. I'm looking at you, all of you. All right, thank you. We have on the podium, we have the fourth panelist in our midst, Mr. Akintunde Akinwande from Africa, Head of Digital, OCP Africa. Akintunde Akinwande from the Africa, Head of Digital, OCP Africa. You're welcome, sir. And the last but not the least, this celebrity is a doctor. is no other person than Dr. Fatona Ayola Paul. He's a head regional technical services, agri and micro scheme specialist, Leadway Assurance. Please, is there to ensure us this? Is there to ensure and assure that we are fully insured? Please. Thank you so much. Before we go into the panel session, I would like to read their profile so that when they speak, you'd understand where they're speaking from, and to also give context into maybe networking after the session and a few other things. Is that okay? Is that okay? All right, thank you. So we have Mr. Adeoluwa Michael Adeshola. He's a group managing director, CEO, Norman is the CEO of Azikin Norman Nigeria Limited, a leading agricultural company specializing in sustainable grains production, processing, and community development. He has over 15 years' experience in Nigeria's agricultural value chain and has a degree in economics. He has successfully led initiatives promoting regenerative agriculture, reducing post-harvest losses, and empowering smallholder farmers. Adeoluwa's affiliation with professional organizations such as Institute of Certified Economics of Nigeria, the Institute of Supply Management, ISM, the International Organization for Agriculture, to sustainability, have positioned Azikin Norma as a model for agribusiness innovation and impact. Ladies and gentlemen, please once again let us appreciate with a round of applause Mr. Adeoluwa Michael Adeshola. Please, can you stand up once again for recognition? Thank you. All right. So the second panelist is the CEO of Okra Solar, Mr. Afnan Hanan. You want to do that thing again? All right. So he's a CEO. He utilizes Internet of Things, IoT, to deliver affordable and rapid electrification of off-grid communities through smart modular mesh grids. Okra is successfully bringing up 99% uptime energy to more than 7,000 households across the world, including Nigeria. Wow. Afi is one of the innovators in the energy access field. Recently, he represented the Future Energies at the World Economic Forum, Champion of Tomorrow in China. He's passionate about collaboration. Afi seeks out other change makers across tech, finance, policy, with the goal of achieving 100% electrification and unlocking new economic opportunities in last mile area. Don't hesitate to join and reach out the team. Please, once again, please, let's appreciate him. Let me face this way. All right. I have Cynthia E. Chisom here. She's the principal manager, SDC Startup School. For those of you that you've started your startup, but your startup has not been started through a school. Please, SDG Startup School is here. Chisom is a multi-dimensional startup advisor with extensive global experience, having worked with notable incubators and accelerators, such as CC Hub, wow, VC for Africa, Ventures Platform, UNIDO, For Africa, Incubator, GCIP Accelerator, and others. She has a strong track record of guiding early-stage startup founders through the crucial early years of building their ventures. Cynthia holds an MSc in Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Management from Imperial College London Business School. Recognized for impactful work, Cynthia was named one of Nigeria's 100 most inspiring women, wow, in 2022 by Leading Ladies Africa. Please, can she get a round of applause, please? You are just looking at, just encouraging. It's not easy. This thing is not easy. Is it easy? All right. Where did I stop? All right, so Tech About Honor had in 2024 as a key figure in the Abuja startup ecosystem for our contributions, including Founders Friday in Abuja. Venture Spark also acknowledged her in 2023 as one of the 50 remarkable women leaders in technology and innovation across the world. Cynthia is the principal manager at SDC Startup School, where she creates programs that transforms individuals into entrepreneurs. She currently serves over 2,000 students from 30 cities globally. She serves as the Vice President of Ecosystems and Venture Labs at Spark Africa headquarters and the organizers of the African Startup Festival and Africa Technology Expo. Once again, thank you. All right. I have Mr. Akintunde Akinwande, the Africa Head of Digital OCP Africa with us. He's a seasoned driver and a professional with over a decade of experience in the agricultural industry. He specializes in implementing innovation, digitally driven solutions across Nigeria. He began his career at Notori Chemical Industries Limited in 2008, gaining expertise in business technology development and marketing. Since joining OCP Africa in 2016, he has risen to the top of his role as head of digital, leading impactful business initiatives like Agri Booster, OCP School Lab, Farm, and Fortune Hubs. He holds a bachelor degree in geoinformatics from University of Lagos, an MBA from Africa Business School in partnership with Columbia Business School, and has completed advanced studies in strategy and leadership at Columbia Business School, New York. Akin is happily married and is the father of 3 beautiful boys. You don't want to clap for him, right? Aha, he can do better. All right, last but not the least, I have our very own doctor here. Dr. Fatona Ayola Paul is the head of regional technical services. Like I said earlier, he's the insurer, he's the insurance, he's the assurer. All right, so I'll just briefly read his profile before we delve into the presentation. He's a seasoned expert in insurance, risk management, and economics. He has over 2 decades of experience. He began his career at National Agri Insurance Corporation, where he has contributed to developing paramedic insurance products, and has collaborated with several international organizations like the World Bank and IFC. He was part of the ministerial team that drafted Nigeria's 2012 agricultural policy and led the design of a technological distribution channel for the insurance component of the Growth Enhancement Support Scheme, GES. Since joining Leadway Assurance in 2018, he has driven the agribusiness portfolio from an income of 220 million to 2.5 billion in 2022. Can I get a clap there? When I hear billions, I like it. I like billions. Onboarding over 3 million farmers through innovative digital solutions, and advocate for agri insurance in Nigeria and West Africa. He has built capacities across the region and across Africa. He holds an MBA in financial management, a degree in accounting, and belongs to various prestigious organizations, including Chartered Institute of Insurance Institute of Nigeria and the Chartered Institute of Economics of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our panelists once again. I guess I'm sitting here, right? Okay. All right. Good afternoon. I want to believe we've had a good introduction of who our panelists are. Clearly, they are subject matter experts in their field, and they've accomplished a lot of feat as well while rendering various services and businesses. And of course, all of the introduction speaks to the innovation part of what they do. So we are looking at a topic titled Localizing Innovation, Building Technology Solutions with Nigerian Context. So what is the Niger factor? What is the Niger context in that solution, in that business that you are building? So they are going to be speaking to all of that this afternoon. But before we take each individual, I'd just like to get your reaction to a few things. We can. All right. So the first question I will be asking is this: if a global tech giant tasks you with designing a solution that feels 100% Nigerian, but has the potential to scale globally, what would be your first step? So somebody approaches you with an idea or a solution that is 100% Nigerian, but has capacity to scale globally. What will be your first approach?
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So first question I have, how many of us here are founders? Like you have an idea and you've either launched or you're about to launch. Just wave. I want to know the founders in the room. The people that are taking big risks, carrying another person's Ghana must go on their head. Can I see you? Great. Okay, so that's a great context there. So for this particular question, if a tech giant should approach me and say, okay, solve a problem within Nigeria that can scale globally, what's the first step I would take? Obviously, being a teacher, right, at Ezadop School, one of the things we teach our founders, first thing is to start with an industry that has very, very low innovation and support, right? So first thing is to identify the industries that have not yet been tapped. So apart from the very major ones like fintech and logistics and even agri-tech as well, if you think about the healthcare space, when we think about, when was the last time we had to visit the hospital and we needed to get specific tests done? What was the process like? Supporting the doctors themselves, supporting the nurses themselves. So first start by understanding that industry and then diving down into what are the unique challenges across the value chain of that industry. So obviously I'm not going to give him a specific, if I want to give him a specific one, I'll tell him to focus on local leather artisans in the leather industry. I think that's an industry that nobody pays attention to. But for the sake of the people in the audience, right, you start with an industry. Start with understanding the full context and the full value chain, identifying the pain points across the entire value chain, and then picking the one that you want to focus on. So for example, if you think about the logistics industry, everybody is focusing on that, on the later end, which is also like being able to order a dispatch bike. But what about down the value chain? How do we train and identify dispatch riders that get to jump on those bikes? Is there a system for supporting them? What kind of needs do they have? Has anybody even thought about paying attention to them beyond just saying, find a way to earn more money by jumping on my platform, right? So that's how you approach going down the value chain, really looking back towards the entire process and making sure how you can support. So that's how I will approach that particular situation.
Thank you.
All right. She just brought something interesting to mind. How many people have had riders who have gone away with your food? Or probably who ate the food halfway? Okay, so it shows you that there's a bigger problem with the person of the rider than the activity of riding. For me, I would want to also answer a bit differently, which is a global tech giant has come. So it means one thing is sure, technology is sure. So I'm not renewing or I'm not doing technology again. I have a global tech giant. What the global tech giant doesn't know is how to identify problems in my locality. He has technology, he or she has the wealth of technology and experience, but what they don't have is understanding the problem in our local environment. And that's what every one of us has as a strength. So even if Microsoft were to come tomorrow and say, we have $5 million to give one person to go do something, they can support your technology, but they will not identify your problem. So the first thing I want to do is to first define the market I want to go into. I mean, I'm from the agri sector, so it's almost important that it's going to be in the agri sector. But first I need to define the market. When I understand the market, I need to spend time with the market. I think a lot of us as founders have run too quickly to set up technology without spending time with the market. So I'm going to possibly leave my home for another 2 months. Go sit down somewhere with the people and go through the daily activities of what they do. So imagine I want to do a solution for farmers. And I'm able to spend 2 months. There's a lady I was telling you about earlier on who actually spent months before she set up at all, sitting in a local village somewhere in Oyo, just with farmers, understanding the entire value chain. So that's the first thing I want to do, understand the problem. You can copy technology, you can't copy problems. I can take technology from anywhere. It's a tech giant. I can embrace technology, I can localize the technology. Problems are unique to different areas. So first, I need to spend more time. I mean, it's like they say that if they give you 2 minutes or maybe 5 minutes to farm, it's better you use 4 minutes sharpening your cutlass. I would spend that time finding out what the real problems are. A lot of times as solution providers, we assume problems for people. We assume that's going to be their problem. I'm going to go there and then find out the actual problem, detail it, collect enough data, and then be able to prefer solutions.
Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for him. I mean.
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think for me, even in as much as my other panelists have been able to do justice to the question, but I think my approach would be a little bit different, right? Because we're talking of an international tech giant, right? And then for me, first of all, I want to understand the local customs and the local norms and values of the local market to prefer a solution to. Because you can create something so beautiful, but if you're not able to integrate local customs, norms and values, and how that ecosystem is set up, you are going to set up yourself for failure, right? When you are able to, first of all, create that solution that can easily be a plug and play into how they live their lives, the closer you are to succeeding in that given space. That would be the first thing to do. Secondly, just like Kimomi has said, identifying a particular problem you want to solve, right? When you identify that problem, you are halfway into seeing to it that what you're venturing out to do is going to be a success. Then, most importantly, you need to co-create with local stakeholders. Co-creating with local stakeholders will let you have a broad overview of what the challenges that are there, what are the problems, and how you can build together to ensure that at the end of the day, you are going to have adoption, not just a problem that is going to be like the project that most of us wrote in our university days, right? Right, and then you write your project, you submit it, and at the end of the day, you see it with one suya man selling suya with it, right? So co-creating with local stakeholders is very important. And then after that, when you're able to co-create, then build a robust business plan around that. Right? You can't just go into the field without having the strategy, which is the business plan, that will tell you how you want to move from plan A to plan B, and eventually for you to be able to succeed at the end of the day. And lastly, right, you need to develop for scalability. Right? Develop a scalable model that you can replicate anywhere else in Africa. For me, I say this. African problems is the same. It's only the language that is different, right? But if you are able to use these steps, which I'm sure at the end of the day is we are going to be home and dry. So those are the strategies we are going to put in place, and we can be sure that it's going to be a success at the end of the day. Thank you.
So co-create, build a business model, and then let it be scalable.
So it's
Thank you.
You for understanding. Yeah. You understand the local customs and knowledge. Then also, the high is for you to ensure that you identify a problem to solve, right? Then also, B is for building a sustainable business.
Don't worry, you take us through that in the next session. Don't worry. Thank you.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, sweet. Well, yeah, I don't know if there's too much more for me to add. I think they've covered it pretty well. I can maybe just give you an example from our company, because we're an international company and we're trying to smash the Nigeria market, because Nigeria, and I think it's a really good question, because Nigeria is to the African market what America is to the global market. So if you can smash the US market, you can smash the world. That's what everybody says. And I think if you can smash Nigeria, you can smash the rest of Africa, potentially Southeast Asia as well, and then hopefully go into the US as well if it's as relevant. So I think starting from the back of the question, because the front of the question has been answered a lot, the back of the question was, build something in Nigeria and how's it going to scale globally later on? So to start off with, ensure that it's a problem that's affecting people outside of just Nigeria. So in our example, it's energy access, people that don't have access to electricity. In Nigeria, there's 80 million people that don't have access to electricity, so a huge problem in Nigeria. And there's 700 million people in the world that don't have access to electricity. So if you smash this in Nigeria, you should be able to smash it in the world. And in terms of how to make sure that it actually works in Nigeria, I'll just use two examples for us. Following on, make sure the problem is really addressed. So heaps of people in the world don't have access to electricity, but in Nigeria we found there's kind of two specific segments. In rural areas, there's people who literally have never had light before. That's one segment. And then there's people in rural areas who are running diesel generators. They actually have a lot of money. They can pay for a lot of electricity. So we segment our product into kind of two segments to make sure that we hit them. And then it's not just about the product, it's about how we're going to distribute. Well, in Nigeria, you have the Rural Electrification Agency. You have a lot of private energy developers who are operating in these rural areas. So how can you kind of serve them and market them to actually make sure your awesome product gets distributed in Nigeria? That's the way that we've been doing it so far. And after we smash it in Nigeria, I think the whole world will be open for us next. Cheers.
Mr. Anna, let me give you a nickname today. You are Mr. Smasher. Please, we are looking forward to you smashing that problem in Nigeria. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. I think to a larger extent, members of the panelists have done a lot of justice to that question. And of course, I think one thing that pans out really for me is this. You pick a sector. That particular sector should be able to connect the world, because you are taking a look at scalability in view of that particular solution that you are providing. So providing that particular solution simply means in that particular sector has a problem for which your solution will be able to address. And the technology we are providing should be able to take care of the peculiarities of that particular environment that you want to deploy the solution to. Mr. Azikinoma has said a lot concerning that, and he has taken us through the processes involved in starting from understanding the culture, the norm, the perception and everything, and stakeholders engagement and all sorts. It works because, again, that's actually the best way to go. If you take a look at Tribe for instance, Tribe, what they did was that they identified their sector. Their sector was agriculture. And what were the challenges then? They saw that, well, inputs, financing, even finance for the farmers themselves, even creating farmers' identities, and so on and so forth. And what did they do? They brought up a solution that was technologically driven, that addressed farmers' aggregation, farmers' identification, input financing, and even other financing itself, and equally ag extension services. And like they said, right now, the rest is history. So again, that is just the way to go. Take a look at that, and of course, as you have seen now, they are no longer in Nigeria only. They are cascaded across Africa. So the beauty idea is that, first and foremost, identify a sector that resonates with the world. Take a look at your solution. Take a look at the peculiarity of your environment. Then you can go ahead and deploy that particular solution to ensure that it works. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor. So, Chisom, let me come back to you, if that's okay. All right. And the question I have for you is this. I mean, I know we have some panelists here. Some are founders, some are in their idea stage, some are startups, some don't even have, any idea. They're just inquisitive about technology, right? So, but from a startup point of view, if Nigeria were to become the tech hub of Africa in the next decade, what one paradigm shift must happen in how we localize innovation today?
See, for many Nigerian founders, which is one of the major differences I saw between Nigerian founders and other founders globally, right? Not even just Nigeria, even Africa as a whole, right? is the education of the founders. Is a huge problem, and the first level is to really invest in that. You see, a lot of the things that our panelists have said today, right, would inspire you, as they should, right, will point you in the direction you should start taking. Now, when you get back home, you get confused as to, okay, so how do I now really do what I am supposed to do? So they have told me that I should understand my industry, I should, get to know the customer, spend time with them. How do I spend time with them? What kind of questions should I ask them so that I can get the right insight? Because if I ask you a question, if I come to you and be like, oh, I have this really interesting app, and I think it would be, good for you. What do you think about it? Obviously, you're going to give me really nice feedback, and I'm going to go back on feeling like, oh, I have a fantastic product, and all my customers want it. But what if I asked you a question of, okay, when was the last time you experienced this problem? How did you navigate it? What were the options you had available at that time? And how did those options did it really help you? Or would you have wanted something better? Those kind of questions are the questions you should ask your customers. Now you've been taught, ask your customers. But how do you ask? What questions do you ask? And how do you approach it? Which is why education is a big deal. There's a reason why we have to go through many years of schooling to learn how to do mathematics. It might seem so simple, but our teachers spend hours with us to teach us how to add 1 plus 1. And the moment we got it, now we are doing incredible additions and subtractions every day. So the foundation has to be laid, which is the education bit. So if you say, okay, understand your industry, you might have the question, okay, where do I find information about my industry? I'm playing in the agricultural space, but if I go online, I don't have as much information, especially when you think about Nigerian context. So at school, you learn that, okay, for you to understand the industry, you need to talk to people like Akin. You need to talk to these industry experts that have spent decades in that industry and can expose you to the entire value chain. And by having a one-on-one session with him, you can know so much that you would not find on the internet. And so when you have an understanding of it, he would even expose you to say, okay, this particular part of the industry is lacking support. I know I'm building a company, I'm working in a company where I'm focusing on this area, but if somebody can come and help us with this area, it will really help. I was speaking to one of the major executives at Julius Berger, right? Part of Founders Friday, and he was telling me that, see, we're looking for startups that can help us at Julius Berger. I was like, Julius Berger, you guys need startups? Said, yes, because yes, we have so many moving parts. We're moving cement, but we still need help around managing the supply chain. We still need help around like navigating this huge network of trucks and laborers that we have across so many construction sites. We're happy to find a startup that we can support, and now they're building that arm. So you as a founder, if you don't have interactions with individuals like that, you will not find those insights. You will not find those insights. And guess what? Who is going to tell you? Your school teachers, your startup school teachers, right? And that's the essence. And I think that's one area of the Nigerian tech ecosystem that has not really been invested into. We have a lot of investment in, investment. If I ask any founder right now, what do you need right now? Everybody's saying, I want money, I want to raise funds. But what if I told you that that's actually not what you need, right? To really, really grow in that sector. So the first area, the most important, is education, startup education.
Thank you so much. Education is very important. Money without education. Now money misrude. All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Adeoluwa Michael, let me come to you. So my question is, how can you achieve innovators design technology solutions that balance tradition with disruption and that ensures inclusivity for underserved communities and address Nigeria's unique social, cultural, and economic context, especially in transforming sectors like education, fintech, healthcare, agriculture, and even in areas with limited internet access? How do you balance that?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. My response would be that you have to have contextual understanding of that space which you are trying to go into. And let me give you a practical example about Azikinoma, right? And then what led to that. So some few years back, about 6 years ago, there was a particular challenge that we were facing as an organization that was almost taking us extinct, right? And then it has to do with fumonism, aflatoxin, or cractoxin. These are toxins that are available in staples and in grains across board.
So can you break that? Can you break that down
Okay.
so that you don't lose our audience?
So it's called aflatoxin, fumonism, or cractoxins. These are toxins that are in staples that we eat. Okay, for layman understanding, when we were growing up, right, we used to buy corn on the road. And then when you buy corn on the road, you would have probably come across some black grayish parts on that corn that is as a result of algae and a lot of bacteria that's been cultured, right, on that grain. And what we normally do is we just use our teeth and remove it, right? I don't know how many people can relate to what I'm saying. But studies have shown that these toxins actually causes cancer, right? And then especially we are in the business of working with multinationals that do baby food. And you can't set up a child with that kind of product. It's going to damage the immune system and at the end of the day have an adverse effect, right? So that was the challenge we were facing at that particular time. And more than 40% of our product was being rejected by our off-takers. And for us, we had to do what we call an RCA, right? And then what's the root cause analysis? We discovered that it was because we're doing open market sourcing, well, etc., and like that. And for us to be able to solve this problem, we needed to go into what we call backward integration, right? I'll try and make it short. And in backward integration, we identified that we needed to work with smallholder farmers because these problems can be solved if we are able to just put it in within the clusters that we work with. And at the end of the day, we started out. When we started out, it was a colossal failure, right? Why? Because we went something as unique as the name of the you want to venture in can determine the success or failure of it, right? The name was not being adopted. And farmers that we want to work with in the north west of Nigeria could not attribute themselves to what we're trying to do. And having seen that problem, we decided to internalize and look for a solution. I've heard people here ask me, why Azikinoma? I'm just a Yoruba boy, right? And then why the name Azikinoma? And while we were doing team bonding with my colleagues, right? There's a particular adage in the northern part of Nigeria. They will say, Noma Tushe Aziki. That means that agriculture is the bedrock of wealth, right? And from that meeting, we came up with the name Aziki Noma, right? And Aziki Noma actually means wealth of agriculture. And it would interest you that with that twerk of that name alone, in 3 weeks, we were oversubscribed.
Wow, wow, wow.
That name alone, wow. Aziki Noma. So now, after that, what am I trying to say? You need to understand a contextual understanding of the place you're trying to disrupt.
So sorry to cut in. Yeah? So the name does matter, right?
It does a lot. It does a lot. It does a lot. The name, because you're dealing with locals, they need to be able to embrace and feel part and parcel of the solution you're trying to build, right? When we were able to solve that, right, then you have to build an inclusive design. Whatever you want to do, make sure that you have the stakeholders that are going to be the ones that are going to be beneficiary of this product to be part and parcel of what you're trying to build. And also ensure that it is affordable and sustainable, right? You cannot build product that would be expensive and it's not sustainable, it's not scalable, right? If you put this at the back of your mind, and then we are trying to provide input financing. Right now, our target is to be able to support over 1 million smallholder farmers by 2030. We are at 400, right? And we are gradually getting closer to where we want to be. But if it's not sustainable and affordable, we will not be able to supply this problem. So what I'm just trying to say is that Azikinoma is an example of the question you're asking. So if we're able to internalize, tweak, understand the problem, co-create with our farmers, and also ensure that we're able to solve a particular unique problem that they have. That is why we are where we are, and then we are ever growing.
And then
Thank you so
much. Be affordable and sustainable. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Smasher. The Smasher Man, let me come to you.
I got to change my name.
All right. Yeah, I just changed your name. Yeah. So, well, question for you, since you want to smash the problem in Nigeria, which is a good smashing anyway. You work with technology in the hardest to reach communities in Nigeria. What have been some challenges, all right, and opportunities when it comes to advanced technology adoption in rural or off-grid communities in Nigeria? How do you smash the problem in those areas?
Nice. So I definitely don't have all of the solutions. So maybe I'll start with the problems, and problems are really interesting to talk about because then there's opportunities to solve them. Nigeria, 80 million people who don't have access to electricity. Most of these communities, like the roads to access it, are very difficult. When you get there, even their rooftops are not that stable to put solar panels on. Income is seasonal. Like traditional business models aren't really going to work in this space. But we did find some opportunities. We found that basically half the people in these communities, they own or have access to a petrol generator. And they're spending like 20,000 naira up to some 60,000 naira a month just on fuel to keep a couple of light bulbs on at nighttime. It's not really efficient and it's not really convenient. So we developed a solution basically using solar batteries and run through software remotely. Basically these smart grids that can get deployed in rural areas. And the average household is paying about 5,000 naira a month now for electricity. And it's a profitable model, right? Yeah, so thanks. So I think that's really exciting that these communities now have access to electricity. But what opportunities does this now unlock? And that's the super exciting part. This is what we're getting up to right now. So 80 million people in these off-grid areas, they were all, kind of moving to Lagos, moving to Abuja, trying to find a job as a, doing anything on the side of the street to make a little bit of money, not having enough sleep. Life is really hard. But now they can stay in these rural areas. They have more reliable light than I have in my Tama, right? Because they've got 98% plus electricity over there. Exactly. And now they've got internet, and now it's like, and they've got mobile devices, and it's like, okay, now what are we going to do? So their own accord, they've started, building, like using power tools to build like furniture, like beds. They're selling that on Facebook Marketplace. They're using ChatGPT to figure out, okay, how can they market their products more effectively? It's very, very exciting. And then all of these other technologies, for example, Agric or MoneyPoint, that leverage, connectivity and technology, they can now also leverage of the in. So I guess my question for everybody to think of is, as we hit 100% electrification in rural areas in Nigeria, leapfrogging through renewable energy access that's not dependent on the national grid, leapfrogging through mobile connectivity that's giving them 5G connectivity in these rural areas, leapfrogging through smartphones that are more powerful than the laptops that we had like 10 years ago. What can we unlock for these communities to actually leverage this huge opportunity? It's something for everybody to think about.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I mean, that's solving a real problem, for the real people. Thank you so much. Doctor, let me quickly come to you. And the question I have for you, now we have innovators in this room, right? So how can Nigerian innovators design solutions today that will still be relevant and impactful in 2050, considering rapid urbanization and climate change? So how do people innovate something that lives 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years, longer than they do? Thank you.
Thank you. I think we're all aware that our population continues to grow, and there is a rural-urban migration. Infrastructures in the cities have been overstretched. Then finally, you have the man with the ugly head change. So it's really, really tough now these days, especially when you take a look at the fact that the population will continue to multiply. So where do we need to focus on? We need to focus on those infrastructures and amenities that will be cheap, affordable, you understand, that will be resilient and equally scalable. Because at the end of the day, you are taking a look into the future.
Are we taking a look? Take a look at what is happening in the urban areas. Take a look at chaotic Lagos is with transportation and logistics. Can we bring up solution to quickly address that? Should we continue to burn fossil fuels with the vehicles that we use, thereby destroying an environment and equally making the impact of global warming negative impact? I mean, making the environment have that particular impact from climate change and global warming. Focus should be on that particular area that have to do with. Again, we take a look at water management, waste disposals. What kind of innovation can we craft around that to ensure that we continue to live a good life? Because if that is not done, of course, we all know the